Hey guys, welcome back to the It's All Good show. I'm Joey Perry. This is, I guess, technically our episode number 2, and this is the why this matters. Why are we doing this show, and a little bit about who I am. So we can't get too far along in this series without putting that out there for anybody that might be new to the show or might be catching it later or might be just coming into the sport early on and still trying to connect dots with things. So again, I appreciate you guys being here. Please like and subscribe for our YouTube channel. Follow us on all the socials. So get that out of the way real early on. All right, so just to kind of break this down, I mean, why are we here? What is this for? What is this show all about? There's a lot of great shows out there for sport karate on social media and YouTube, a lot of things showing clips and different highlights and different competitors that are involved in media sharing things. And I'm excited to do some of that from my perspective and be able to put that out there and be able to interview top competitors and coaches and instructors and former competitors. Also excited to bring you history of the sport from someone that's lucky enough to be in my position where I was able to grow up through the 80s and be part of that sport karate push through that era and through the wonderful 90s and the NASKA growth and the NBL wars and all of that, all the way into the 2000s and now what we have here in 2026 and everything that the ProMac Professional Martial Arts Conference is doing. Amid others, there's a lot of great groups out there in leagues and USA Sport Karate and what NASKA is doing on the World Tour and WKC, and I could name a lot of different groups. I don't want to leave anybody out. This show is for everyone. But a lot of people doing a lot of great things these days, and I'm very, very proud to be involved in sport karate and be able to help lead new information and, maybe kind of share the love, share the procedures, and educate. So, I think over the years, it's been obvious that a lot of people come into the sport having, one or two perspectives, either as a coach or as a parent or as a competitor themselves, or they've done some of that. Maybe they have done that and now they're just refereeing or officiating or volunteer part-time. Everyone has different angles. And I'm lucky enough to have all four sides of the competition arena being able to come through. I'm going to click that there. Being able to come through and now be a promoter and league operator and grow, and coming from being a competitor to a parent, coach. When I was coaching my own students and people, obviously had my world champion competitors, have my own children, but then moving on to promoting tournaments and looking at it from that perspective as I was learning to officiate, I tell you, it's been an amazing journey, and the different perspectives obviously give you a different way of looking at things, right? So being able to see that and take that for all of these years now and bring it back. Been involved in martial arts for over 40 years and been specifically in sport karate as we know it now for over 30 years, and now I'm as active as ever, growing events around the country and officiating and teaching other people to officiate and teaching other promoters to promote and trying to connect the dots. It's a lot of fun. Super glad to have your support. So, not to stir anything up, this is really not a drama show. So if you're here for drama or to hear people be criticized, that's not what I'm all about. If you know me, you already know that's not the MO. But we will have open discussion. We will talk about things that can move the sport forward and I don't different things, whether we know why we do them or not, or why those procedures are in place. So hopefully the show connects a lot of dots and educates people from those perspectives, right? So really, as I'm trying to get these conversations started, I've already talked to a few people in the last few days and a lot of ideas for a lot of shows. And of course, I have my list that's got dozens of shows that we're going to be doing, from rule breakdowns, procedures, from different tournament reviews. Of course, all of the professional martial art conference events and any of the World Tour NASKA events that we're also sanctioning. I'll be giving reviews I'll be doing breakdowns, interviewing the different competitors. So hopefully that gives you guys a scope as to why is this important? Why am I doing this? What are we doing? And those longer segments, like this one that's a little longer, will be obviously a little more of a deep dive or explaining things a little deeper. But as you can already see on the show, if you go to the YouTube channel or any of the social medias, you can check these short either 2 minute or 5 minute, 7 minute clips that we're going to be doing that have different either highlights or have different graphics or videos that are either pointing out different rules or explaining things, even if it's just simply reading through the rule book for clarity and explanation. A lot of people aren't able to do that, or they're confused as to what the updates are, or how that really works, or how they should think about it. So putting out a lot of that content, and hopefully that helps, because that's really quick to consume and easy, and you can listen to it on your walk or exercise or your drive, or maybe on your way to an event. If you're looking for different clarity on uniforms or equipment, or hey man, what do they do in creative division, or what's not allowed for extreme. So other than just reading the rule book and maybe being confused, some of these little shorts are going to help you guys go a little deeper and understand what those are for, coming from a promoter and an official's perspective, and from a competitor's perspective, being able to put that together and hopefully explain it and help, especially those of you newer to the sport, right? Yeah, that's a big deal. So checking my notes, you guys really remembering that this is for everybody, right? So, I mean, as I'm explaining what we're doing, it's obvious that whether you're a youth black belt competitor and you're trying to make it, you're trying to, make sure that you're on top of the game, you're just starting out competing, you're new to sport karate, you're looking for information, you don't know, how do I register, what events are worth going to, where should I spend my money, what's some tips on traveling, what kind of bags and speakers should I have? There's not a list. Nobody tells you that, right? So that's what we're answering. Those are the questions we're answering. If you're an adult and you're a parent of a child competing, obviously whatever circle brought you into the game, you're looking for direction from them. Maybe they're right. Maybe there's things they don't know. Maybe there's people that they misunderstand. You never know until you get out there and you communicate and you consume things and you view things and you watch people and you participate in events. Hopefully I make that a little shorter for you and take out some of the bad experiences by just giving you tips and advice from all the top parents and competitors and coaches on what to bring and how to do it. That's what we're looking to do here in 2026 and beyond, right? So that's kind of a big deal. It's something that, even if you're a coach or a promoter, I'm hoping to bring you a lot of value to, not only bringing a lot of the local, regional, national, and world tour promoters onto the show and getting things, advice and tips from them, but then also giving them feedback and myself feedback as a promoter, promoting the Memphis Open, promoting so many ProMac events around the country, Destin Open, South Atlanta Open coming in August. Those events are at different levels of growth, and there's ones, just even within ProMac and NASKA, we're seeing almost 30 events a year right now that we're going to be going to and participating in and helping lead the charge, even a few that aren't necessarily ProMac, but going to be able to support. So we're always wanting to stay up to date on procedures and rules. We're always wanting to lead the way. We want to lead by example. So as we stay on top of things, as we're trying to get our officials through our officials training program up to date, everybody out there watching this, again, it doesn't matter if you're only doing the World Tour, you're doing ProMac regionals, or maybe you're even somewhere else where one of our events is not too close to you, but you have a local thing going on. If you're a promoter or a coach or an instructor and you're wanting to launch tournaments, or you've got something going, but you're looking for advice or you're not real sure, this series is going to be great for you. You can look at the websites I'm going to be sharing. You can look at the advice that I'm giving you. All of the things that we're doing are right now as modern as they are. It doesn't matter if you agree with all the rules or not. Not every rule are you going to agree with, or not every procedure is going to be perfect. But we're looking for clarity. We're looking to expand the rule. If the rule book is there, we don't want to make it longer. We want to make it more clear. We want to make sure the language is more clear. And we've done that. A lot of times with the ProMac, for example, rule book, that is 99.9% exactly like the NASKA World Tour rule book. So that way all of our local, national, and regional events that are moving up, all of the rules are streamlined. We're holding the officials accountable. They're knowing how to referee. They're knowing how to score. That makes a big difference for the competitors and the experience that you're getting along the line. We've been seeing that for the last few years. We've been seeing some of the top competitors now out, like Dawson Holt, Ben Jones, all of those competitors coming from the pedigree of the consistent rules when they were younger, competing in the ProMac, primarily ProMac circuit, as those guys were younger, as teenagers, going up into NASKA, with the rule sets being so similar and the expectation and the work, they were able to transition beautifully. And I'll have them on the show sometime and we'll talk about that and talk about their perspective of it. But even as an official and a coach and a promoter, I have seen those benefits. So we're excited to connect the dot with more of the World Tour events and help them out. But when you look at those rules, the consistency and how it's implemented in the officials training, all of that is what gives you that experience as the competitor and as the customer coming into our events and coming into their events. So we stand up for that. If you're newer to ProMac, or if you're newer to NASKA, you're going to find different places. You're going to have different experiences or vibes. The great thing about ProMac is we do control the scheduling and the officials training throughout every one of those events all over the country. So you always get the kind of same similar vibe and energy and expectation and rules consistency. That really, really, really helps. So anyway, that's what this is all about. That's what the show is all about. I am so excited to bring you more of this. I have some great things lined up. We have some great rules we're breaking down, some creative extreme weapons rules. We're going to be interviewing officials, some of the top officials in the game, getting their perspective on certain calls or certain reasons we do things, and also tips for the competitor and parents too. So a lot of stuff coming out over the next few months. So again, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That's the number one way you can help me right now. And then all the socials, and share and watch. Even if you just watch it in the background, it all helps as we grow and we start connecting more dots. Pretty soon we'll be on all the podcast link up. So if you're hearing this, you may be hearing this through one of the podcast channels, or you may be watching on YouTube. Either way, really, really appreciate your support. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're leaning into as we continue to grow sport martial arts and sport karate. So we appreciate you very much. And if you didn't know before, this is the It's All Good show with Joey Perry, and that's what's up.